Okay.
Buyile. Yay. Skonala. Sini.
Someone's happy to be back.
Yeah, actually, like very much missed you guys.
Really?
The set, the lot, the camaraderie. Even the cameraman is smiling in the background. That's when you know you're doing a good job.
Yes. Yeah. Welcome back to POPradio.
You look amazing, cuz. Love the look.
Thank you so much. I'm rocking a local brand, Godspeed.
Sure.
It's
not the first time you're rocking them.
No, it's not. From PTA.
But you know what brings out the outfit? It is the hair,
yes,
the accents on the hair, and the accents of the accessories. The gold really coming out to play. You understand?
Because I'm out here trying to make sure we blinging.
Very nice.
We out here doing the things.
Very nice.
It's nice to see you, Scoopy.
Showcase. She can't say the same thing about me. she was gonna say you look nice too. She looked at me. She's like, no, they won't believe me. So nice to be back.
Let's get into the music. All right, so we've got a really awesome interview for today. We're going to be chatting to Priddy Ugly.
Yeah.
Chatting to him about his album Soil. We're going to get into just everything about his life, where he's been at, where he's thinking, how lockdown has kind of helped him.
Do you think it's an acronym for something?
As usual, you know, with Priddy, he's always trying to unlock a deeper part of our brains that we've hidden away for a very long time.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? But of course, we are also going to dive into some new music and new artists that we've been checking out. Since you've been on a little bit of a break, I'll let you go first. Scoopy, who's been on your radar?
Yo, shout outs to my plug, who introduces me to new music.
Yes.
And in the past couple of weeks, I've been not reintroduced. I've been introduced to Umjita. Igama out is TSA Tsa. You can find him on Instagram at Tsa Nobody Else. He's got a promo running on Trace, the channel on television right now. He is really, really dope. He's from the South, and if you know, it's just chilled. Nothing clubby. Yeah. Nothing party. He's actually like a very like deep person, if I may put it that, you know. It's it's just one of those life lyrical dudes. Slow. You can hear everything he's saying, and I like the sound. I like the sound a lot. Tsa Nobody Else. I think his MC name is just plain Tsa.
Okay. Well, we'll check him out. Somebody who's been on my radar is a lady by the name of Nandile. She's got a tune called S1E. She's just released it recently. And what I dig about her is that she's also very like hip hop, rap, you know. Go and check out her rap. She's actually closer. She's from the Eastern Cape. But what I dig about her is that she's also trying to play around with a lot of imagery with her songs. And obviously she's talking about S1E. But typically S1E would be the girls. Yeah. But she's flipping it off and she's saying,
We are the guys. We are the guys. Showcase.
So go and check her out. She's had a couple of singles I've played before as well on radio. I do think she's got something for us to kind of look out for. She's obviously keeping it real. She's keeping it hip hop, but she's got a nice vibe to her, you know?
Who's that one you were playing on the screen? That feature with D Koala?
Oh, that's K Keed.
All right.
Yeah.
We have spoken about her before.
We have spoken about K Keed once before. She is featured on D Koala's new song called Spaz. Check out the music video. It's fire. And it's dope. I really enjoy how the visuals just came together so easily. And you can see they didn't put in, like, it wasn't one of those like, overly thought out. Let's get dancers. Let's get this. Let's do this. Let's change location. One location. Let's just have a young house party. But the way they edited it, super clean. I love it.
Siyabonga Airbnb.
Wow. All right, so we're going to jump straight into our interview with Priddy Ugly. He is ready and waiting for us to chat to him. So let's get to it.
Let's go.
Welcome to POPradio. So excited for the guest that we have for today. Huh? I mean, I was waiting for him to, clap it again. But we do have our guest who is joining us for today. Obviously, we're going to be chatting about his journey through music, chatting about the new album that's just dropped. Mr. Priddy Ugly, what's good?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
He even comes with his own ad-libs. He comes with his own sound bites.
You got a new one now.
Come on.
You got a new one.
I've been using the whole time.
Showcase. Is that the money counter?
You know what I'm saying? Scoop is actually giving me ideas, dog. For me, it was more about the whip. But like when you're saying like money, I'm like, yeah. It's more brrr. So VRRRR.
Showcase.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. well, you can't complain.
For sure.
Complaining doesn't help.
How have you been coping during these times? I was thinking about this knowing that we're going to interview you today.
Sure.
And I was like, yo, I never wanted to have a kid because I was afraid of these days, the last days, the Armageddon days.
Yeah.
Having to like flee a war, fend for yourself, but also you're thinking about a kid and a family. And I was wondering about you, like, how do you see these times, especially bringing in a girl into this environment and these times? How are you feeling?
Man, times are scary for sure. I'm usually like a very like optimistic guy. Anyone in my team who knows me, all my friends, people I grew up with, like I'm always super positive. Even when things are like bad, it's like, yo, guys, things are gonna be good. And I still believe that, but sometimes it's like, yo, I feel it, but I'm also not sure if like things are gonna be all right. So it's like we're just living in like a very gloomy period where you really don't know where things are going. Especially now when you're raising like a child in these times, a baby girl in these times, where women are getting killed every day rather, kids are getting kidnapped. I was just listening to the radio now, and there's a child who just got raped at school, a 6-year-old child at school, by a caretaker at the school, And that stuff like frightens me all the time because, our child is turning 2 years old this year. Already she's getting ready to like start school and that kind of thing. And we get concerned. Me specifically, I take my daughter to the park every day that I'm with her, And when we're playing there, you see her playing with the other kids, and they play rough too at the same time. So many times I've had to just Superman her out of a situation before like a kid jumped on her head type situation. And I think I'm like, yo, but what's gonna happen when I'm not around, But ultimately, like, they're human beings and they need to get scabs themselves, because like. It's the hustle and getting hurt that builds your character as well,
Yeah.
So, but still optimistic about, the future of South Africa for sure.
Yeah, because that can also kind of find you in a position where you're kind of putting her into a bubble where you just want to constantly protect, you constantly want to, but you're right, she has to learn how to kind of fend for herself, for her to be able to learn certain things, because sometimes that's just how you do get to these things. And obviously feeling like you're bubbling her, haven't you also felt like you were also in a bubble, like he's mentioning? Lockdowns also kind of kept us in like a space where we're having to be indoors. We don't really have a choice about really going outside. How has that affected you from a creative space? Because you work on a different types of things. It's not like you're only working on music.
Definitely.
How has that helped you as an artist, or I don't know, maybe even been detrimental to your creativity?
For me, actually, the period hasn't been that difficult because all the years that we've been working, it's like my 16th year in the game. People may not really know that. I was already like 13 when we started this thing. I was 14 when I got my first record deal.
Okay.
16 years since then. And because we've been working so much, and like I kind of created like a safe haven for myself in my home. The studio is right.
It's right there.
It's right there. I don't have to stress about getting to studio and who's gonna come record me. I went to go study sound engineering. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm an engineer because I didn't finish. I did 3 years and didn't finish. But I have a lot of producer friends, engineer friends. So like recording, getting into studio, being creative is never like it's never something I need to think too much about. It's actually it's like a natural thing for me. I treat like the recording process like a prayer. The writing process like a prayer. So if I don't write in the day, I feel like I really haven't spoken to myself and to my ancestors and to God, So it's kind of like I gain messages from me just writing. 'Cause sometimes I don't know where, most times I don't know where this is coming from, and I'm writing stuff and I read back. I'm like, yo, man, that's profound.
Is that me?
Like, that's kind of profound. So the period has been daunting because everyone else's energy is like so low, And in the circles that I'm in, I'm like, I'm everyone's like big brother, So my friends always coming to me for solace and advice. Other artists are hitting me up, the new school kids, wanting to know like how to maneuver the game and just trying to hear how I manage things. And for me, I just have a very solid family structure. If I didn't have a solid family structure, in that being my wife, my parents, my extended family that comes with them, with the settlers as well, it would have been a horrible time.
Yeah.
Showcase.
It would have been a horrible time.
Yeah.
But because our family unit is like so close, and I was never like the type of person who like going out anyway. I like being at home and to myself. And I know in the game it can be it can work to your detriment a little bit because, you know, out of sight, out of mind. But I'm not like concerned about like all the worldly things, you know. And even before that, it's not like I released like the most commercially viable music that we're gigging every weekend. No, there was like, you know, months where we're going without shows, you know. And but luckily, because I've been doing this for so long, like I said, I have the structure at home. We've built the relationships with the brands, and they've been able to help me, like, you know, keep by in these times. So creatively, I think this is the best space I've ever been in. But that can also be a deter to your creativity because, you know, you have so much content that you want to release to the world, but sometimes the world is just not ready to receive.
Yeah.
The
Have
word,
you felt?
you know?
Have you felt that way about? I feel like a lot of maybe SA artists might be going through that right now.
Sure.
It might be that one, there's so much that they want to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if the people are ready to hear it. I don't even know what the people. I feel like we don't know what we
What we
want.
need, yeah.
We don't know whether we want to party or we don't know whether we want to think
Sure.
or we don't know whether we want to chill and meditate. So, like in terms of being an artist, I was saying to the team when I was coming in here, I don't even know at what point you guys hit the studio and write anymore. Like,
Sure.
you know, back in the day, it was like, you know what? I'm trying to make a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's like a hit could be whatever. It could be a track that is very lyrical. It could be a track that's very introspective. It could be a track that says, I know for a damn fact it's hard for a hip hop track to be a hit these days. I will say piano, you know?
Of course.
Because of the way the genre is positioned. Right? It's like if we're going through so much and hip hop guys are not going to talk about it, are they making good songs?
Sure.
You know, as a creator, as someone who's rapping for these people in these times, how did you decide, no, an album needs to come out now?
Man, because I was sitting at home and I wasn't receiving the music that I wanted to hear while I was at home. Because I'm not in the party. I'm not at the clubs. I'm not at parties. So it's like, okay, cool. I can't listen to this turn up stuff all the time. Who am I listening to? What am I learning from artists? You know, because even the artists who are introspective or non-introspective, who are, you know, who work on mainly turn up music or music for performances or for club. Yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person who wants to listen to people and learn something from you.
For sure.
You know, if it doesn't have to be something educational, something about you. You know, you listen to albums. It's like I want to learn like what your trail of thought is. You know, where are you at? What do you think about the world? If you're a woman, like, how is it like to be a woman in this tough industry and like trying to prove yourself in this male-dominated industry?
For sure.
You know, so I want to hear that thing, and I listen to some of those, and I don't really get that. They might speak about it on a song or two, or, you know, and that's not everyone. I'm speaking about mainly the people who are in the commercial space.
Yeah.
Because there are people who speak about more spiritual stuff. Zulu Mecca is one of them.
Yeah.
There's so many people, actually. You know, I don't want to really name drop. But for me, I was just sitting there and I was like, yo, man, like, I feel like I have a social responsibility. And because I was at home so much, there was a lot of time to introspect and think about the world and like where we're going as a society. I'm a father now. I'm a married man now. What am I using my platform for if I'm just saying, yo, let's turn up.
Let's turn up.
Let's, you know, let's go buy whips and let's lie like we have this money. It's like, dude, we don't. You know what I'm saying?
We definitely don't.
Yeah, no, we don't, you know. So I'm listening to artists, especially like the young cats, and I'm listening to their content, and they're speaking about all this money that they have. And because, like, I think I've been, you know, I'm cool with a lot of people in the back ends, you know. You hear what they speak about in their music, and then I'm actually chilling with them, and dudes don't have money. We need to transport them or Uber them or drive them. Or so it's like, why are you putting yourself under so much pressure in your music? You know, you don't have to. And that's like what I say to like a lot of the young guys when I speak to them, you know. But I get it, being young, just like young also, you know what I mean? But for me, I felt like, yo, man, I'm not hearing enough of a mature voice.
Sure.
And like a lot of our key players in hip hop, you know, have gone on to do like other genres, and I get it. People want to feed their families. You want to stay top of mind. You got businesses to run. Hey, I'm a piano as a genre. Let's do it. And I don't condone that at all, you know. But like I really wanted to hear some stuff that had like substance, something that I could learn from, and you know, just introspect on. Because like a lot of people, you know, the youth these days, you know, like a lot of us are not looking at the Bibles or at the church or even at schooling systems to learn. So how we learn is from the people that we engage with, artists that we listen to,
They're not even
the
going to
documentaries.
school
you know what I'm
because
saying?
of COVID.
Exactly. So I was like, yo, man, I feel like I've gained so much knowledge, especially in this last year and a half. How do I share this knowledge and also not be boring about it at the same time, you know, because people don't also want to be taught a lot of the time. You know? It's like, yes, bro, you're too preachy. It's like, I need to think too much to listen to you or whatever. And for me, it's like, yo, I actually want people to think. I need you to think. I need you to question certain things. Well, why is he saying this? What does he mean when he's saying this? I remember when I was growing up, like, most of my vocabulary that I learned was from listening to hip-hop.
For sure.
Dope, yeah.
Now I'm hearing new stuff, and I'm not hearing new words. I'm not hearing things that make me want to go challenge myself
You're
or
hearing
learn
slang
some
only.
stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was where my space was. I'm like, yo, man, I don't feel like enough people are speaking on this. And I'm not saying that nobody's speaking on it. I'm just saying not enough people.
Yeah.
And I think it's even more important for someone like myself to be saying certain things, you know? Because people can get caught up in this facade, like, oh, he drives a nice car, oh, he's good looking, or he's in a relationship, and then they think that, you know, things are all rosy and there's nothing to learn from this guy, you know? So for me, it's like, yo, putting the prettiness away, like, get rid of the superficialness that you guys are, like, so attracted to, minus all the stuff that you see, you know? I really want people to learn. I want people to be able to listen to me and be like, oh, man, maybe it's not a bad thing to be, you know, a one woman man.
Sure.
You know?
Are you getting that type of feedback from the album? Because obviously it's been out for like a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
People are obviously listening to it, and I know you've got your core fan base of guys who like stand for you forever.
Sure.
So, and it's dope to also still see that, especially like you're saying in a space where piano's kind of taking over the conversation, but people still want to sit and listen and hear you out. What has the reception been? Are you getting that from your fans? Are they actually listening and questioning your lyrics?
Yes, it's been, I think that's, you know, I was just speaking to my team about it yesterday. Shout out to Fred Mercury and Vaughn.
Yo, Fred, Fred.
Yeah, he's out there. He's plotting. You know, all the work that you're seeing from Amachita, myself, Kez, all the other people coming from Stalo that you're going to be seeing. You know, Fred is involved.
Nice.
You know? Yeah, like, I mean, I was speaking to them, and just yesterday we're just speaking about, like, they just, because I hadn't seen them since the album dropped. You know, I'd been busy with a lot of stuff on my own. And I was with them yesterday because we were shooting some content, and they're like, "Yo, man, what's you know, how you feeling? You know, and what's your biggest takeaway from this?" And I'm like, "Yo, man, the biggest takeaway is that, like, yo, we set out to do this work with an intent, and people actually received that intention, because the intent solely with this album was to rap. Number one, the second intent was to provide a place of education or just like a platform of vulnerability, you know, because the album tackles like a lot of issues, you know, social issues, even like depression, triumph, spirituality, you know, the dualities of life and death. So we play on all those topics.
Nice.
And so many people that have been speaking to me and tweeting about the project are like, yo, man, like, yo, Priddy Ugly, I understand. Like, even people who are haters, like, yo, man, I never listened to your music. I didn't like your music. But, man, I listened to Soil, and, like, I think I get you now. I understand. You're a teacher. That's what your music is doing for people. Like, and people are not trying to learn, then vele, like, you know, because also students don't want to listen to teachers also at the same time. Doesn't mean that the teacher's saying something invalid. It's just like, you know. So, but what I got from people was like, yo, man, I'm learning so much about stuff. Yo, man, or I'm learning so much about resilience. And outside of the album, just you being yourself and continuing to do what you're doing through, let's say, facing hate and the turmoil or whatever the case is. And you're still here, still producing quality music at a quality level, at a consistent level. Wow, that's so inspiring. You know, people can even take that away from me. Outside of what you listen to on the music, then I've already done, like, you know, half of my job.
What was the track that was like the most easiest to finish?
The easiest track to finish
on the album?
I think it was a song called Loose Change. Yeah, Loose Change was like, you know, I mean, because the chorus goes something like, yo, loose change, you got a little money and you changed. You boys really funny, man, you strange.
Hey.
Before it gets sunny, there's a few rains. You know, so it's just like, it just speaks about, like, you know, how, like, dudes in the industry get a small little bit of change, you know,
Word.
whether it's like
And they change.
and they change, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It's like loose change made you change. It's not even like big lump sums of money, you know.
Not long.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been here like also for such a long time, so I've been I've seen people who were maybe like nothing and then are stars, and then you see them the week after they become stars, and it's like it's a completely different person.
I've seen the Rovers roll up with ribbons. I've seen them repoed, resold, then redriven.
Bro,
Yeah.
you check what I'm saying? That's like some real stuff. So I think like loose change, because I related to it so much, because I could also like relate, because like even on the song, I say like, yo, a true claim. Oh no, I was about to say the completely like wrong lyrics. But like, yo, loose change. I gotta go grill for my toothache. How you floss with no bills for your toothpaste? When you hungry, we kill for the food taste. Yeah, really, we the new slaves. We signed a deal for a whip and a few chains, but can't afford a trip. It's a true shame. Now you buying fake drip and the suit stained. You know, so I can relate to that.
And buy our thing, I'm a fake. You?
Yo.
Buy our thing, I'm a fake.
Yeah,
Okay?
I'm not gonna talk about like I don't know about SA niggas. They just spotted Soldier Boy buying jewelry at a cart at the mall.
At the mall, yeah. Big Soldier, the first nigga ever.
When a big Draco.
Draco, the first rapper to buy jewelry from a mall cart.
Yo, you know?
That's crazy. Priddy, we were listening to your album before you came, and I think also the environment matters of where you listen to your album.
Definitely, bro.
I think you can't listen to your album around a lot of people.
No.
I think headphones are a must.
Yeah.
I think solitude is a must.
Yes, sir.
I think either early morning, midday, or in the
Late
evening.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
late night.
sure.
I think it's one of those places.
For sure.
I also think obviously weed would be very like conducive
Yeah, no, for
for
sure.
wine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way you're spitting it now,
Sure.
you got me really trying to go and dabble. I guess we were just in this mood of it's never nice listening to something when you're about to interview someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
for
It needs its own time to digest in my system.
Sure.
But the shit you're saying right there is quite dope. And putting it in the way that you're putting it, it's like it's entertaining, but also makes you, not necessarily think. You're hitting the nail on the head all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. What I also enjoyed, and I mentioned this as well while we were listening to the album, was how you've also forced people to come to Priddy's level.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like when I listened to Blackie on Dead Jungle, I was like, because everybody's heard the features, and he's very like, okay, lively, bubbly type of guy. He's dabbling in different types of genres. He's doing different things, but it's all very like high level type of, okay, let's just have a good time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there was like, how can't he Blackie?
Like,
I'm a boss, I'm a
content. Come
cooker.
on.
Which one is this
Yeah.
one? And that's dope, because you're also then creating that atmosphere to be like, if you're gonna jump on my music, you better come correct.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Is that
Definitely.
what you expected of your features?
I did, and because we chose features based off of like one, the pen game.
For sure.
It was number one.
Otherwise,
was,
you're
like,
gonna
the pen
embarrass
game,
the
You know
dude.
what I'm saying? And we also, and it wasn't about like getting the most popular features, even though right now Blackie's like the hardest to do, but it wasn't about getting the most popular features. It was about getting the right people for the music who could like either add on to the message or create a completely different narrative from what I was speaking about, but we still meet in the same world.
Yeah.
Zulu Mecca was like one of them. She, we did the song called "Let Me Out," and it's very like. It's very grounded, It sounds like an underground like record, but the stuff that we're speaking about, like I encourage people to read the lyrics. Also, when you're like listening to the music,
Where can they
can't
read
do
the
that.
lyrics? The lyrics.
It's
Sorry.
it's on DSPs. It's
Sure.
available on all DSPs. So Spotify's got the lyrics.
Okay.
Apple Music's got the lyrics. Also, you can check out my Genius account.
Sure.
Nice.
Put up all the lyrics.
Nice.
So
Yeah, because we don't have album sleeves anymore to
We
go
don't.
back to.
We
Because
don't.
that's what I used to do. I was
Yeah.
a purist in buying CDs because I wanted to
Me
have
too.
the album cover so that I can read along and I can rap to you and be like, I know your lyrics too, nigga. You know what
that's
I mean?
how I got into hip hop.
Yeah.
Just like sitting down and writing like B.I.G. and Tupac lyrics.
Yeah.
Blackie also, when we did Dead Jungle, it's like I listened to that song and we did it with another guy named HD who's from Brooklyn, New York. And he's fire, man. Super fire. So when we're creating the song is about creating like this image. Like when you say Dead Jungle, it's like the jungle is actually very much alive, but the people who live in the jungle and the things that they engage in are very dirty, you know. So you can think about Joburg, for instance, where it's like maybe the city's vibrant, it's alive or whatever, but like, you know, if you're stepping into the wrong street sometimes, like, you know, wrong place, wrong time, you shouldn't be there.
A lot of your beat selections also on the kind
more
same
pre-2005.
Yeah,
More Rockers Records.
That's where we were going.
Most lache is a worse.
Rapping, you know, shout out to Kwarato and Tembisa there also.
He's even got it there. He's even got the shout
Cosmo,
out.
your timing with the bomb is immaculate.
That's too much.
It's immaculate.
You're impeccable.
Did she have practice alone when I wasn't here? Damn, that Gigi episode did well, didn't it? It's impeccable.
I know I'm on now.
Sure, Siswam.
Because I could hear with a lot of the beats, obviously you were also trying to go for a certain like energy,
For sure.
a certain type of mode with regards to the album to then say this is me teaching you, but I'm also then trying to keep it at this playing field, so you know that you're sitting and listening.
Definitely. I mean, like the first half of the album is very jazz orientated, lo-fi type beats, and then from track 6, like it picks up, it becomes like there's a lot more aggression then. But the main objective, like I said, with this album was like for people to listen to what I'm saying. You know, so a lot of like maybe if I say maybe criticism that I'd received maybe in the past or whatever, it's like, yo, Ramundo, like, you know, rapper, but we can't hear him. You know what I'm saying? Because I had Weechi 1080 on the beats, her cut the lights on the beats, and for me, I was like always trying to create like high performance, you know, type music. Like when I go perform, like, yo, our 808s need to slap better than anyone else's 808s.
Sure.
You know? And this album, that wasn't the intent. It was like, no, we actually need to like simplify the beats
so that the voice
people,
comes through.
Exactly. So even when we were mixing, a shout out to Zuchi Coke Dope who mixed the album, the main focus was the vocal. So we're like, yo, bro, we need, because how I usually am when we're mixing is that we want the vocals and the beats like to sound like the same. But in this album it was very different. Like the vocals needed to be like slightly above the beat, and the beats just kind of like underneath, just like carrying me, you know? So because like a lot of these beats, shout out to Shooter Coombs, he produced, you know, most of the project with Weechi 1080 and her Cut the Lights. And the last project he worked on that was, you know, very successful was Shane Eagles' Yellow. Yeah. You know, so when we went to Shooter, or Vaughn suggested we work with Shooter on this one, that was a whole energy. We went through a whole bunch of beats. I recorded over 100 songs for this album.
Damn.
You know?
And only 10 made it?
10, you know?
Damn.
But that's because, you know, life is long, and I don't want to sit here and say, yo, life is short, you know, because then I'm attracting that energy.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, life is long. I'm going to be here a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So with that being said, there's a lot of music and a lot of content that you guys are going to be getting. But the reason why we also had to shorten it to like 10 tracks, because we also realize that we're living in an era where people, instant gratification is the thing, you know? I'm a rap fan. I also don't want to sit for like 50 minutes listening to like your album and then I'm still lost or whatever. We wanted the replay value of this to be like super on. 30 minutes you listen to the album, you're already done. If you play it again,
that's
less than an hour, you know?
That's
you've
good,
listened
man.
to it twice.
That's
in
clean.
2 hours, you've listened to it 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Because people really have short attention spans, and it's like you can have really great music, and then people only go listen to the featured songs, and then next week they're saying, "Yo, when's the next
one coming out?" That's
bro,
true.
You haven't even listened to that thing. You know?
Because I also get overwhelmed sometimes, like even with like Drake and Chris Brown, when they drop those 25 tracks, I'm like, oh my God, I can't go through this.
It's a lot.
I can't. Like, I love you, but it's not happening. Like, it's not happening. Okay, so tell us about how people are also kind of picking up a few lyrics and they're saying you're throwing jabs to some of the cats in the industry.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, I get hip hop, dog. I'm rapping.
Sure.
That's like my narrative. I'm rapping.
Yeah.
You know?
One thing I can tell you, you're the hip hop dog.
From the guy that's leaving.
The hip hop dog. Hip
From the guy
hop.
that's leaving.
Right.
So yeah, man, it's just like I'm a grown ass man. You know, I don't seek any validation from any artist. None of these artists are my friends like that, you know. But with that being said, I also still like encourage camaraderie. I don't mean like we must disrespect each other, you know.
Yeah.
This is like hip hop. I'm not saying anything that's really about your family or about. I'm just saying like, yo, man, like yo, a lot of people, the narrative that was there was like, yo, this guy he can't rap, you know. So I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, that's the narrative. I didn't think I can rap, or I know I can rap. Okay, cool. Let's prove it to these people that we can rap. And also, let me rap against the people that they claim are, you know, the people that they hold in high regard. Let me play next to them, you know, because if I'm trying to prove that I can rap and I'm trying to prove it with, you know, dudes who are doing like vibey music or whatever, then that's not it. It's like, yo, man. So, and it's just me, like too many artists, like as hip hop artists, we've lost like our confidence, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people are not excited about getting back into the studio and dropping like the most fire verse. It's just like, you know, we're just trying to figure this out. We don't know how COVID is going. We don't know if we're going to be able to come out into the streets. So they just drop in like they B-grade songs and not everybody, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody, you know? But with that being said, I just wanted to put pressure on dudes like, yo, man, let's rap because like, Vele, the narrative of hip-hop is dead can be there if the hip-hop artists are not dropping hip-hop music.
Sure.
You know? Because the DJs don't have the hip-hop music to play.
Yeah.
And the podcasts don't have the hip-hop music to speak about. And then like, you know, so
Yeah, give us a locks and a dipset.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Something.
Yo, you see the energy of that, bro?
I
That
mean,
was
Jada
crazy.
Kiss.
Come on, Jada on his
Apparently,
own,
his
like,
streams skyrocketed after
200% or
There
something.
too.
that was
know.
mad
Just
entertaining,
clean.
and that's really what I'm saying. Like, yo,
Yeah.
man, like, and
Bring
you know,
rap back.
and people are like, yo, you dissing dudes. It's just like, also one, if you weren't my friend, I wouldn't diss you, type situation. You know,
But when they say dissing, Priddy, if you can think about the lyrics in your head, what exactly are they saying? I don't know.
yeah.
I was really shocked because you're normally not the guy
Yeah.
to be front page unless you're standing there with your girl and you're showing
Yeah.
everybody that we're living a good life.
Sure.
You're not the guy to be really like be in the media like that,
Yeah.
especially with that kind of narrative, you know. So
sure.
I was like shocked, and I was like, well, he is dropping an album.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow, you know, you got to play
Sure.
the game.
Yeah.
You know,
For sure.
And I wondered if it was a way of you playing the game, but also now that you accepting the fact that, listen, I am challenging people to rap.
Yeah.
What in your mind, or I haven't listened to every lyric,
Sure.
but what is it specifically that you say that you think people might be like, okay, he's talking about this person here, he's talking about this person here?
For sure. No, the song in question is Handful of Dust.
Sure.
You know, so on the song Handful of Dust, there are lyrics there that people, you know, think are about people, and they are about certain rappers, but it's not really about them, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, maslalidiski, you know, or when you're playing like 1-on-1 basketball or 3-on-3 basketball. It's about like, you're not trying to kill the next dude, you know
Sure.
what I'm saying? But you're like, hey, bro, I'm gonna cross you over, you know, I'm shying spy too.
It's
you
a
know?
young trash
and
talk.
it's just like, you know. So on Handful of Dust, I say, you know, because Reese, you know, I'll say Reese because, you know, he's the slimes are in my mentions like a lot, you know. But shout out to the slimes. It's so dope to see someone, you know, people getting that much support, and this is all love to these dudes. Dudes
Yeah.
like Reese love, you know.
Yeah.
We love what they're doing. So you know, so he's got a song called Hibachi, and on Hibachi he's like, yo, I think I'm gaining body weight.
Yeah.
I'm on a beef diet, turning rappers to
Hibachi
hibachi
steak,
steak.
sure.
You know? So I was like, okay, cool. He probably is turning rappers into hibachi steak. I'm not one of them. That's what I'm saying.
Clean.
So my response even to that, it's not even like a response. It's like, yo, rap is in a cocky place. I'm not the one who's turned into hibachi steak, lost his taste. Not your favorite rapper, probably dropping plates. Copy paste, I'm Haile Selassie in Versace shades. I need the Maserati just to match my Liberace grace. You know, so it's like, obviously people are, oh, you diss Reese. It's like, it's actually like not a diss.
It's
just
actually
saying,
just clearing my name
yeah,
I'm
just actually just like, yo, I'm clearing my name from that.
Because it could have been
whole thing,
easily
you know?
said that, oh, Reese is dissing every rapper in the game, and
For
that
sure.
wasn't said.
Exactly.
People just saw that as like, no, he's
He's
being
playing the
lyrical.
game.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's,
That's
it's stuff like that.
it's a dope answer, by the way.
For sure.
Have any of the artists that you're assumed to be throwing shots at, have they
Sure.
hit you up?
Not really.
Because they scared. I'm joking.
You know, on this song, and I feel like dudes are scared. I'm just saying. No, but like I was saying, like rappers have lost their confidence.
Sure.
Bro. So me and saying like, yo, I'm saying, yo, step out of that little like corner that you're in with your tail tucked
Safety
in, and like,
net.
and be the bulldog that
Yeah.
I feel like you are.
Sure.
Right? And that you feel like you are, and that your fan base feels like you are. But we're not gonna know it if you're busy sitting in the corner there
Sure.
and just like, you know, dropping subpar stuff, or like, you know, you're chasing the melodies, and I get it because we want radio play and we want to get accepted by bigger crowds or whatever. But while we're doing that, we can
we still rap?
You know what I'm saying? So
That was one, and then the Shane part,
the Shane.
or
I
just
didn't-
they were just saying like,
yeah, you know, people just find ways to like put people in. I didn't really. Well, there was a freestyle that I dropped, you know, and I think on the freestyle I said something like, it was a birthday freestyle. I said something like, I'm the type of rapper to put a an eagle in a bird cage. They ducking because they chicken, and I'm tired of eating bird flakes. I bake a gingerbread man to find out how dessert tastes. I had to turn
that's
my birthday
crazy.
to a rapper's worst day. You know,
that's crazy.
yeah. You know, so it's just like stuff like that. And I mean, I won't sit here and say like that was about Shane, but like I'm also very like intelligent in knowing that like people are obviously gonna bring him into that conversation. It's like, yo, man, like the shoe fits. So be it, you know. But like on my side, that they still love. And like one of the dudes that I mentioned in the same line, I just said like, you know, I bake a gingerbread man to find out how dessert tastes. And it's like, and that was on my birthday. And Ginger had commented on that thing to say, yo, I rap it, for
sure.
But
That's it.
But if you're an MC, that's the energy that I feel like, you know, if you're insecure, then it's like, oh, why is this guy, what is he saying about me? You know what I'm saying?
It's like this Kanye and Drake thing.
Sure.
Drake announced the album release. Kanye announces a listening party.
Sure.
Why doesn't Drake just drop his album?
Sure,
Why
yeah.
does he feel like I can't drop it while Kanye's
sure,
having
you
listening
know?
parties?
For sure. Because, you know, actually, you know, these guys are playing at higher stakes. So it's like, when Drake, you know what I'm saying?
It's like,
yeah,
yo,
you're right, bro.
like if
Right.
it was Tembenga lo hlobo ne fan base yakho, you know what I'm saying? And me, I would buy the Drake and the Kanye album on the same day. But when you as an artist now are holding back and you're not even saying anything,
For sure.
because siyabona ukuthi uyamsa, and Kanye did it on purpose.
For sure.
He
Yeah.
did it on purpose because he's playing on that competition
Sure,
vibe.
yeah.
But that's the thing. I think that's what's so awesome about what you're doing as well,
Yes.
is that you're taking everybody out and saying, don't be scared. Everybody can rock at the same time.
Yes.
And I think that's what I'm appreciating about all of the hip hop albums that are still coming out even during this piano state of mind. And it's not to say that we shouldn't appreciate what's happening within the culture, but it's nice to still say, there's still hip-hop artists who believe in their own sound and still be able to release in this climate to still make you sit and listen to my album. And that's what I loved about your album, because it isn't something that you would bump in the club, but it's still for hip-hop fans who still want to listen to hip-hop on the way to the club.
For sure.
I can
You know,
still
exactly.
I can still get a piece of the pie.
Yeah, because not all the hip hop fans and the whole hip hop crowd is in the club.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a great album. I'm gonna listen to it while cleaning the crib. I feel like it's
please
one of
do.
those
Yeah.
Saturday morning washing,
sure, trust
child
me.
and doing the vanishing and the
Yes.
brasso game.
Hey, on your knees or what? Do you cook?
Everything, everything.
I wish I had a camera to see this.
I'll record it for you one day.
Please, we
I
need it.
swear to God,
We need
it's
it.
one of my best times that I enjoy. Is cleaning the crib.
That's
Me too.
dope.
Yeah.
That's when I'm on my own.
I wanted to ask you, so obviously you are now this person who, like you've mentioned, you don't really go out, you spend a lot of time at home, you spend it with your family, but initially, obviously everyone knows that you and Buntle got together because you both were on dance crews, correct?
Sure.
So how do you have this persona of being a dancer who needs to be out there in people's faces, doing the things, going to clubs, whatever? When did that switch up happen for you to be like, this thing's not for me anymore?
Eish, man, I mean, like I said, I've been dancing and like rapping since I was 13 on stage. We used to go to NSA Festival of Fame and we were performing out there, you know, from a very early age, you know. So, you know, and then going into my 20s and tertiary and being at a sound engineering school, like now you're in school with all the rappers and all the artists and the sound engineers. And also having a partner who's now in the industry, so it's like we support each other. You know, I'm not the type of person who likes to go do like red carpet stuff or whatever, but like I also understand how important it is for someone like her to be there. And it's like I'm not gonna be like, well, because I'm not interested, go on your own. It's like, no, bro. Like that's also what relationships are about. Sometimes you need to compromise, you know, and actually like support your partner and like what they're doing. So you know, we go. So there's stuff that I need to attend to in like the hip hop fraternity circles and stuff that Buntle is going to, and then just from going to all of these things and like you spending money to get designer suits to go walk the red carpet, just you know, for some people who don't know you to come critique how you are dressed or whatever the case is. People who aren't even doing anything to contribute to the culture, you know, and then you leave that place and. Like it's done. It's not like you got paid to be there, and now it's happening every week, and now I need to be at every show, and I'm spending money every single time. There's transport. I'm traveling with dudes, and you know, and it's like.
And now you need to get a nanny, which is
you know
more
what I'm saying
expensive.
now. So it's just like with all of that, it's like there's too much fickle stuff in all these spaces as well. The superficialness is vibrant, you know. It's like, but I also understand the spaces, and this is not me dumbing down. I'm just saying right now, I'm not going to the clubs. You know, in the last year and a half, I haven't been going to the clubs, so I'm not really trying to hear club
No
music.
one's been going to the club, my
You know
brother.
what I'm
We've been
saying?
on lockdown.
Check what I'm saying.
We've all been at
you know?
home.
Some of them motherfuckers there. I don't trust some of y'all motherfuckers.
And like most of the most inauthentic conversations I've had are in these spaces. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, hey, pretty, yo, hey, dog, yo, give me your number. It's like there's dudes I know in the industry who have given my number 15 times over the last 15 years. And it's just like, bro, I don't know why you keep asking me for my number because you're not even going to use this number.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we need to be here in front of all these people pretending like, you know, like we're so happy to see each other. But I also, like I said, encourage that because like it's good for people to show love. But like there's too much fake love. You know what I'm saying? You could be in the club and like see like people coming to greet each other with a smile. And in a split second when they turn their backs on each other, like the smile is gone. So it's like, yo, man, this is not like... For me and my personal energy, it's not really the type of spaces where my energy thrives, you know?
Sure.
And I feel like we and my family walk with an abundance of light. So it's like your light can shine light in people's lives and in spaces, but in certain spaces, you know, your light can be dimmed by like all like the darkness. And I don't want to taint that, you know? So I'll still go out, obviously, to show love. You know, Frank Casino is one of the dudes who hit me up a lot of time. Hey, Fitu in the club. We're going to guy. You want to pull up? Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go. Yo, I know you're married, but let's go do this thing. You know?
Talk about your relationship with Frank, because I heard you, most of you guys, like, not him alone,
together,
but grew up together in the East End, yeah?
Yeah.
So holla about that.
Frank is like one of my dudes. Shout out to Frank, man. I've known him since high school, grade 8. And when I was in a group, the first group that I was part of was a group called Black Print. And the first song we recorded was a song called Big Bowling. This is 14 years ago. And after recording that song, we were friends with a girl who was on YoTV at the time. Her name was Vusiwa. I think Vusiwe. She was part of Amaponi.
Yeah.
Remember the group Amaponi? Yeah. She was one of them.
The traditional group.
Yeah.
Sure.
So she had actually heard the songs through the homies. And she's like, yo, man, I love this. You guys want to come perform on Big Breakfast, TOTV? We're like, yeah, sure. We went out there, we performed, and a guy named Vusi Lu was out there. It's Vusi Liao, but I'll say Vusi Lu. Vusi Lu discovered WHP, Toya DeLazy, Mendoza.
That's insane.
He's still pushing a lot of people. He's actually at Warner now.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of work with PH Raw X. He's working with Faith K. He's still working with like artists now. Like Vusi's definitely
Shout out
still
to
like
Vusi,
big in the game. Yeah.
He saw like talent in us from like a very, very young age. So that's just to give a background on like, so I was in a group with Frank Casino. So Frank Casino was in this group with me. He's engineer right now, and business partner Dow's, who's always with, was also part of that group. And there was other people. I'll just say other people.
Dow's used to rap.
Giles used to rap, sing, and
I just know him as the guy who like make sure Frank arrives. Like call Dow's. Don't call Frank because Frank lost his phone. Call Dow's.
Dow's like when we were growing up, man. I thought Dow's was like a Dr. Dre, man. Like, he could rap, sing, produce. Like I still think he's one of the most talented people like in the game. I'm not sure if he's still really doing all of that stuff right now. Yeah, but I've known them since way back in the day, you know. So obviously, like, you know, growing up, we all go our separate ways. I went to a different tertiary. They went their own way. Some dudes went to go get 9 to 5s, and then eventually Frank Casino came back into the game. You know, and I think that's when he dropped like Whole Thing, and you know that blew up. So it's so dope to see people from like back home, 1632, 1618, Birch Acres, Birchley, really like doing their thing, you know. So
1630.
1630. You know
What was happening in Cape Town when you had like all the young school people in this apartment? What was going on there?
For sure.
And I guess you have to start off with the label that you are under right now.
Yeah. So I'm with a label called Stay Low. I'm actually so I have my own company. My company is called Gas. Gas stands for the Global African Stream.
It's always acronym.
Oh yeah,
acronym. What does soil stand for? So on it, Lapo.
It's the School of Infinite Learning.
Yeah, bonak.
I mean,
But in the same breath, it's like, say what? Come on, you know what I'm saying? School of Infinite Learning, serving others invites love. serving others inherits loyalty.
When did you think about these acronyms?
Yeah, dog, it's just like I said, like my writing process is like how I pray, you know, like my last album was titled Egypt. Everything godly yearns patience and time, and these things come in my prayers. So like I said, in my way of praying is writing also, you know. So these are messages from Badimu, Mudimu, you know, the ancestors. Yeah.
Nice.
But also at the same breath, like soil, even though it can be an acronym, it's not just about the acronym. It's really about like, we just wanted to have a very grounded album and an album that represented like duality. You know, my name is like a duality, Priddy and Ugly. So like soil is like life and death. The beginning of all life is the soil. And when we die, you're going to end up right back in the soil.
Sure.
You know? And the reason why I say beginning of all life, because like the plants that we plant and that we eat from the ground are coming from the soil, you know, that the cow eats and then you eat the cow and then like you're going to end up also back down there, you know.
It's a cycle,
like,
yeah.
It's a whole entire cycle. So that's really what soil is about, and not just specifically like the acronym, which is why I haven't really been pushing the acronym. I just want people to know it's soil. But if you ask me, like what it is, then I'll let you know, you know.
No. You still have to answer the question.
Yeah.
What was happening in Cape Town?
Oh yeah, Cape Town. Yeah. So shout out to so my company, Global African Stream, aka Global African Sounds, has partnered up with Stalo. And so that's my company and Stalo, which is Vaughn and Dale Stain and the rest of the team. We got a big team. So we linked up about a year and a half ago, and you know, we're just discussing like the game and where we at, what we trying to do. You know, these are my homies. Vaughn and Fred are my homies. They came to come see me. And I just got to speaking about, you know, certain things, and they found out that like, you don't have management. Oh, you've been doing this thing yourself this whole time. Oh, damn. And then now I'm speaking to them and like, and they letting me know like, we also don't really have a team. And Vaughn is like, man, I'm kind of going like my own way now. I'm trying to start this new company. It'll be dope if we form like a coalition. And I was like, yeah, man, like,
why not?
I mess with you guys, you know. And it was really about like, you know, because I wanted to expand gas. I'm trying to, you know, we're trying to give a platform in the next 10 years, the next 5 to 10 years. I'm not trying to be focusing on myself solely as an artist. I'm trying to give other artists the opportunity and the platform that say I never had. You know, when I felt like I was in a label and I felt like, man, I wish people, you know, really understood this PR thing properly. You know? I wish people were really like real creators and like coming up with like proper rollout plans and like structuring out the tours and like getting money for the artists and like working on music that's really art and not just business, you know. While we still finessing the business, because Vaughn and them, they're more the business people. Let's link with them so we can like really like, you know, expand this thing. Sign an Angolan artist. I was born in Angola, Luanda, you know. And I know many talented artists that are not just in South Africa who are also looking for an opportunity that we'd love to like give an opportunity to. So with that being said, you know, so that's how the Stay Low and Gas partnership came about. But now going to Cape Town, we linked up with a company called Dizzy Monks, and they have their own share of artists. And so Dizzy Monks, I know Dizzy Monks and them through Ginger Trill, and then, you know, he's my friend. I don't know if he's like signed to them or anything, but I know they work together very closely. And there was a trade exchange that we were trying to do with Joburg artists and Cape Town artists to say like, you guys are in Cape Town and we are out here in Joburg, you know? But like, you guys are talented there, we talented Lana, but like there isn't a way of integrating and us linking and coming together. There isn't a camp, you know, the same way like Dreamville has had their camps as well. So that's what we're trying to really do. But in a South African like context, but not with the most popular artists, you know? Because also that comes like with egos, and now you need to pay dues extra, and then now they're at the sessions but they don't want to record with anybody, you know. So we just want to dudes who are really, really down to work. So we chose like some of the dopest dudes that we know.
Did you guys record? Is it gonna come out anytime soon?
Definitely. There's a mixtape coming from what we recorded, you know. And what's dope about that is like I worked on about 7 different songs. I know Maglera maybe did like 12 songs while he was down there. Indigo Stella did her own songs as well.
Yeah, she spoke about it when you spoke to her.
Yeah, actually check that out, you know. So there's a lot. So as to which songs are going to go into the project, I don't really know yet. I guess we'll figure it out as a team, because some people want to use some of the songs we recorded for their own, you know, individual projects. Maglera was out there working on his album. When I was there, I was recording his verse for my album as well, you know. And that's really what that was about. So shout out to Dizzy Monks and Retro Records from Cape Town, you know, for even like making that thing happen. Because a lot of people saw it and they think it was my thing, and it's like, no, I collaborated with people.
Yeah.
You know,
It's nice to hear these new names.
Maybe it's also because you're the most recognizable face.
For sure.
So people will always kind of pin it to the person that they love, and they say, okay, no, it's actually Priddy's thing. So he's actually going to run with it.
So disclaimer, it's not my thing. Yeah.
It's nice to see you also kind of like involved in different creative spaces as well, because I do think sometimes we also kind of box ourselves to then say, okay, I'm only just an artist, I'm going to stay in this thing.
Sure.
But it's cool to kind of spread yourself a little bit as well, and mentor and kind of grow people in different spaces as well. I think that's really dope. And especially because you're saying that you've been signed to a label since you were 13. Surely that experience of going through different labels has also kind of taught you different things.
Sure.
Why do you still feel it's a necessity for you to still speak the label conversation even to upcoming artists, even though you've gone through it all, and still be like, let me do this thing myself because these people don't cover me?
Because ultimately, like, we all still need each other, you know?
Yeah.
Because a label, it doesn't exist if it doesn't have the artists. But then the artists also can't really expand their brands if they don't have a label and a team structure, you know? So me, you know, I've been an advocate for like independence, but independence doesn't mean on my own, alone. It means like, when you're getting into business, you own the majority stake of what, you know, of your IP, your intellectual property, you know, and a lot of artists don't like understand that. It's like, it's very important to try and hold on to that intellectual property for as long as you can, you know. Because the money is in the publishing, you know, the money is in the mechanical royalties, the money is in the performance royalties, you know, and a lot of artists don't know that they sign because they want to get into studio and have their songs played on radio and TV, and it's like, that can't be the only reason why we're signing, because you can do that yourself. You have the internet, that's the platform. You don't have to wait for a TV station to play your video once a while, you know. Like sometimes, like I used to complain about, like, man, I don't even submit myself to TV anymore, because when they eventually do play it, they only play it at 2 a.m. or 12 in the evening when no one is like really, really watching. But I still encourage people to keep continuing, because I'm still here. I still continued, you know, we're still submitting till this day. And but I felt like it's very important. Independence as Black people is very, very important, because outside of the music thing, already from a home structure at home, we're already told to go to school, to go work for somebody. That's what your parents instill in you. Like, no, like, go to work so you can get a job, so you can take care of your family. No, but it's not like,
And even, I was going to say, like, even with independence, it's not really independence in a way of maybe moving alone, but move differently.
Definitely, bro.
You know what I mean? That's also, just be independent in your thinking. Just because it's been done and it worked for X amount of people. Now it's suyongena galo X wako, like, try the YZ route. So think about it in a way that suits you.
You know, I want to punt in one of my lyrics on Rap Relay with Maglera. I say, like,
you're gonna make people say we must have people rap when they
come
come here.
on,
That's what you're actually forcing us to do now.
It's just like, you know, it's a marathon, but if you're trying to race, just know I'm tuned better. I never stayed in my lane. I learned to move clever, you know, because everyone told you stay in your lane. It's like, no, you don't have to stay in the lane. You know, and if you do stay in your lane or whatever the case is, just learn to move clever, you know. So like now you're saying it's like people need to come up with like better moves, you know. Like a lot of artists more specifically are spending hours in the studio, bro, like working tirelessly, endlessly, going depressed, going broke, going whatever they're doing, you know. And it's like, that's great that you guys are doing that, you know, but like it doesn't help if you're working super hard but you're not working intelligently, you know.
I was reading the Kiba Negas right now, and this book just says it, you know. This Solomon is talking to Queen Sheba. I don't know who one of them is saying, you know, I think Solomon is asking her how she stayed so powerful in Ethiopia for such a long time. And then she says, if you are alone, it's easy to rob from you. But if you are organized and you come as a pact, you know, it's difficult for people to do anything. And I was thinking about that, because even me, dog, even till today, I make so many mistakes, not based on whether I know that I'm talented or not, but based on the back end of the way I move. It's not informed. Sure. Do you know, even after so many years, I just think I know. But really, until I sit down with people who do know, I know fuck all.
I agree with you as well, you know.
I'm learning that a lot, like recently, you know, because I just got in management as well. And a lot of things I thought I knew, I didn't know.
Sure.
I was just walking on hunch and faith.
Yeah. And I think that's so important, and it's so dope that you know, someone like being a grootman like you, and the reason why I say grootman is not even an age thing, bro. It's just like an impact thing, you know. I was watching you on Street Journal, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and all the platforms that you have been on since, you know. So if someone of your stature, you know, who comes in where people listen and learn from, you can be like, yo, man, I also don't know it all, man. I'm still learning. And that's exactly like what we should be like. Also rappers, especially hip-hop artists, you know, we like to put this big bravado, like we know everything. I just need to stay in my corner. I don't need to go to that show. I don't need to collaborate with this artist. You know, I'm the king or whatever. It's just like, that's also fine. You know?
You should yo, people are going to rewind that expression. It says it all.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately what I'm saying is like, it's like to each his own, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But ultimately we're all vessels, dog, and we should be vessels for learning. Because I'm also, like I said, 16 years into this thing, and I'm still learning.
Yeah,
you know?
but also collaboration's important.
For sure.
That's the gist that's actually coming through on both of your conversations. Is that at the end of the day, it's not necessarily collaborating for the sake of it. It's let's build each other because we have something to give to each other. I can take from you, you can take from me.
Sure.
Let's take it to the next step.
That is something that has definitely been exemplified on the platform POPcast and POPradio.
Sure.
The way that we've just collaborated to make each other better in different avenues, whether it be Cosmo, myself, Dimples, or the crew. Like, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
Because you'd think that you have to do it all alone, and then you realize, no, all you had to do was think about the creative.
Sure.
Then Dimples will come and make it possible for the production to happen. Then Cosmo will be the one reaching out for business.
Sure.
And then the camera crew just make sure that they keep it supreme and clean. They get shouted at and so on sometimes, but they really know how to handle it. They really know how to handle it. So yeah, man.
For sure, bro.
Man.
You know, just to add on to that, you know, again, just punting like another lyric, you know, one of my songs, I say, look, we need more militant youth.
Yeah.
Diligent troops,
Yeah.
the enemies itching to shoot. And when I say militant youth, I don't mean that we need more people to be destructive and like we need people to go kill people. Militant just means militant minded. We need to be organized.
Yeah.
As a youth, we need to mobilize together. We need to be organized. We need to work as a team, work diligently and respectfully, like, you know, as an army should move. I'm not saying every army does that.
Sure.
You know? So with that being said, it's like, yo, there isn't a one-man army that exists, you know? There isn't an I in team. And someone be like, yeah, but there's an I in win. And if I make them win, it's like, yeah, but it's not about you. And too many people, especially in the hip-hop fraternity, we treat this thing like it's about us. It's about myself. No, and it's about all of us, bro. Because like when we gone from this platform, kids need to be looking at us and like continuing the legacy from like where we left it off.
Yeah.
And if we left it in shambles, then they need to keep rebuilding from the ground up
Every single time.
That means we're not gonna get anywhere.
Showcase.
Shout outs, man. Yeah. I think we've definitely had our I don't know our lesson for the day.
Yeah.
Thanks to teacher. Priddy Ugly.
Yeah.
Sensei.
Yeah, we'll take that, bro.
Sensei came in and he said,
We'll take
okay,
that.
you've heard the album, but I'm also going to drop some gems while I'm at it, coming through to the POPradio. So we're just going to, you know, level it out with a little bit of a game, just to lift our spirits a bit, because I do think we were also just getting engaged too much. So we've got a few games that I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and see if you really, really are hip-hop, as you say you're hip-hop.
I know this game.
Are you really?
Yeah, I think I suck.
Everyone
About
comes
people's
here.
names.
Everyone comes here and they question themselves like, "Oh, did I really do it
Government
right?"
names.
Huh?
Okay, let's get it. I'm ready. Let's go. I'm excited.
We always start early. I mean, we always start easy, so don't
Sure.
worry. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna kick it off with Name the Rapper. Scoop, you can also try yourself out.
Okay.
Huh? You can't be a grootman for nothing if you don't know the people in your industry. Otherwise, you're a keeper now. All right, we'll kick it off easy. Who is Boitumelo Molekane?
That should be easy.
Huh?
Boitumelo.
Yes, Boitumelo Molekane.
That's,
Story
yeah,
Yes.
you got it.
I know it was Boitumelo. I knew it was Tumi for sure.
Spamandla Mbambo.
Uspa from Vuzu. No,
No.
talking nonsense.
As usual.
Hi, Cosmo. Mercy on me.
I'll be lying.
He's from Durban.
It's not Java.
No.
It's not Zulu. It's not. Is it him?
No.
Spamandla from Durban.
Pamandla Mbambo.
If we get a clue, like
Give us a group.
What
Or,
genre?
yeah.
He recently did a collaborative album with Zakwe.
Oh, Duncan.
Yeah.
So that's about OG Duncan. Yeah, I mean, I repay my friend.
Yeah, what did he say? I didn't get. What did he say?
Yo, I tweeted something like Angsabu Muntu, and I put like a pen, like because pen game.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. I'm
Sure.
not saying that I can't be, because I'm saying
You're
I'm
not
afraid
scared.
of
Yeah.
anybody.
Nice one.
And I guess he took it in some type of way, and
Yeah.
he was like he responded however he responded to it. And then he kind of mentioned my doors here and there, and I was just like, yo, bro, like never mind, bro, relax.
Yeah.
But he apologized. and
Sure.
it's cool, man. It's all love.
All right, my nigga.
Yeah, as long as you guys can, suss
nah,
it
it's
out,
all
keep
love.
it healthy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Arrepe.
Arrepe.
Here's another one. Or I was about to say something wrong because my Tswana's not the one. Anyway, Bonkosi Mahlangu.
Bongosi. I know.
Chicks.
That.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Nice
That's
one.
the one.
Guessing.
All right. Lindo Guhle Junior Mabunda.
Junior.
I didn't know this one. I won't lie.
He's a junior.
He's a youngin' in the game. Let me rather put it that way. He's a new school kid.
Oh, black.
No.
Oh.
Not that. Okay, not that new school.
Okay.
We actually worked with him early POPcast days.
I'll be lying, man.
Oh, Uncle Party time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I've got some lyrics for you. Since you're dropping pause.
Damn, you got party. I mean, usually it's just one quiz.
We're going. I can teach the teacher.
They're giving you the whole nine, my
The
nigga.
teacher must also be taught.
Sure.
Let's go.
Thanks to Dimples. Anyway. All right. So we are gonna get into who said this. Okay. So I'm gonna give you the lyric, and then you need to tell me the rapper. Do you really know your hip hop?
Okay.
Here's a clue. They're all local. All right. Mama, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to make you proud. I know I put you through a lot of shit. I'm sorry the calling was loud. But you let me drop out.
That's Casper, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of the song?
I forgot.
Mama made it.
Yeah, I forgot, Casper.
Damn.
Okay. This one also. You cheapskates speak currency. This is 10 years worth of thuggery. And that's 2 years worth of warranty. I'm the best lyricist currently.
Youngster
Middle
CPT.
figure to the
Sure.
That's my dog Yati there. Let's get it.
That was hard.
Because he says you must dollar what you must.
I like shit.
That's why Dimples put it in here. I'm
That was
kidding.
tough.
I'm kidding. All right. All right, here's another one. They know I switch the time zone and bring the shit home. They tipping their hats. I don't want nothing in return from none of my bros for scratching their backs.
Nasty.
Jack. Yeah. I like that.
Now we know our lyrics.
bad.
Look at the
Because we
fans.
listen.
Look at the fans. Listen to the fans. All right. Your favorite rapper can't come to my hood because it's litty. Everybody's struggling, but we don't need your pity. Whatever it is, my niggas with it.
Tough. I know your favorite rapper can't come to my hood because it's lady.
Everybody's struggling, but we don't need your pity. Whatever it is, my niggas with it.
Is it not Aries?
No. Should I give you a clue?
Yes, please.
It's a female.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I don't see.
Because you guys don't listen to girls. Hey, njalo.
For real
Huh?
though.
Yes.
You
That's
suck.
Both of you.
Sorry. You remember, give us a chance to guess this right.
Okay.
Your favorite rapper cannot come to my hood,
city.
my city, because it's lady.
Your favorite rapper can't come to my hood because it's litty.
That's Dikwala?
No. Everybody's struggling, but we don't need your pity.
Okay, we're gonna throw all the girls.
Can I say Gigi Lamaine?
Gigi Lamaine?
I'm not going to help you with this one.
Gigi Lamaine?
No.
Not here?
Nah,
Rouge?
yabona.
Okay, we failed
Damn,
Cosmo. Tell
yeah, I
us.
failed.
It's Rouge.
Say what?
You're right
Yes.
though. We're right though. We need to turn up.
You
our
guys
ear
need to start listening to the ladies a little bit more, and I'm gonna keep preaching this. Everyone always says I'm always writing for the girls. I write for the girls because of this. This is
Yeah.
my point proven.
Yeah.
Please, guys.
But also, you just write for hip hop.
Exactly.
And if it's too one-sided, then it can't be hip hop.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But I think D has a card for you as well. So he gave him a little card. We're gonna do our little 30 seconds wrap up here with teacher Priddy Ugly.
Yeah, I don't know when last I played 30 seconds.
Because you don't go out. That's the thing.
You ask us, ne? And then we have to guess.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sharp.
All right. So I'm gonna get the timer
The
on,
timer.
and then you've got 30 seconds to explain what's on there, and we gotta guess what's on the phone.
Okay.
You ready?
All right.
Let's rock.
The province that Casper's from?
Maftown. Mafi gang.
The province.
Oh, shit. What do you...
Province. Oh, Northwest.
Let's go.
Okay.
AKA, it's one of my favorite AKA songs. He dropped it.
AKA is a piece of the problem.
Composure.
Nah, like one of the first ones. After I Won It All, he had like this big single. It's about winning. Imagine winning and running.
Oh, Run Josie.
No.
Nah.
Fuck.
Ah, okay, cool.
Hey, you
The
suck at this.
company, they do run Rockin' the Daisies.
Time's up. Stay entertained.
State Entertainment, let's get it.
But what was the AKA
Yeah,
track?
it was Victory Lab.
Victory Lab.
Victory Lab
Yeah.
was before All Eyes on Me.
Did I say that?
Yes, you said it was
damn,
after. Because I was gonna
just
say
before,
I was gonna say Victory Lab, but then you said after, and I was
I
like,
thought I
"Ish,
said I
it was,
won it all.
Did you say I won it all, or did you say All
It
Eyes?
was before I won it all.
I want it all.
It was.
After I won it
Yeah,
all.
yeah, you're right. Ish,
Yeah, and
I
then
missed it.
Ayanda MVP was the other one. I
Sorry,
wasn't sure
sorry.
how to get that
Ah, it's
But
okay, it's
Northwest,
okay.
You
State-
saw me
State
yawning, guys.
Entertainment, yeah?
You saw me yawning, guys. It's tough.
You win some, you lose some, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming through, Priddy. I think we've had a really amazing conversation
Yeah,
with you.
man.
And shout outs to you also just for being so consistent. You've, like you said, you've been in the game for so long, but you haven't lost hope. That's what we need. I think in as much as things are changing, pop culture is also kind of growing. Yes, we are accepting. I'm 100% accepting of piano, but I'm also excited by the fact that you are still one of those people still writing for hip hop to still say we can still, coexist.
coexist, yeah.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't just push one to the side because another one is peaking at the moment. Sure. So big ups to you for constantly doing that, man. I really think it's really dope. And for showing South Africa that you can be a black man who loves his wife.
Come on,
Showcase.
guys.
Okay?
Showcase.
Because
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
No
it's
doubt, my
dope.
nigga. It's a pleasure.
Platform, yeah.
Shout out to the hairstylist too. Damn.
Come on, shout out to this car. We took it all around the country on the soil video. A lot of people saw that video and thought like it's green screen. It's like, nah, we went every single place and she was braiding my hair.
Really?
So shout out to this car one time.
That's a lot of energy.
Yeah,
Jeez.
trust me. That's how much we love this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope, man. And ladies and gentlemen, Priddy Ugly.